First book of the semester, The Electric Michelangelo by Sarah Hall. I picked this book up at a Rasputin in my hometown before the semester even started in the summer because it seemed super interesting as somebody who is a tattooed human. It's about a tattoo artist who comes to America from England and tattoos some circus freak. I don't know. It seemed interesting, and as somebody who's super intrigued by the writing of good prose, I grabbed it. Sarah Hall is supposed to be amazing. She is quoted as one of the most uniquely talented novelists of her generation, so how could you say no to that? Sarah Hall, good job for you. I'm intrigued by what the novel may be. It's kind of reading as a romance in the synopsis, which I'm not too excited about, but we'll see how it goes. I haven't started it yet. But once I do, I will post more when I'm maybe halfway through. Keep you guys posted, let you know how it is. That's all for now. So, we're just under halfway through, and we're starting part 2 of The Electric Michelangelo. At this point, we've met what seems to be all of the main characters of the book. We've met Sai, who is an apprenticing tattoo artist. We've met who he's apprenticing under, so who would be his master, his mother, and his friends. Up until this point in the book, we've moved from Sai's adolescence to his adulthood. He's in his mid-30s now. And I have said that this is also on the back cover, that Sai goes to Coney Island. He leaves Europe and he goes to Coney Island just before entering part 2, so I just finished part 1. He's on the ship to go to America, and that's where we've left off. So that's where we are in the story. What I've noticed about Hall's storyline is that she has an amazing flow. Half of the words and sentences in this novel are comparing one thing to another, and it's not a bad thing. It's so eloquently written. She does have a very unique style, weird punctuation, weird grammatical choices, a very unique flow, but I cannot stop reading. I'm hooked on what she's saying and her descriptions. Overly long sentences and no quotation marks and weird breaks throughout chapters that aren't really chapters, but it's great. The back cover didn't lie when they called Hall one of the most amazing prose writers, and I will say that from now until eternity, unless it takes a huge turn downwards, because it's so well written. It's so well written. You get a real sense of who Sai is, not through his own dialogue, but through the dialogue of others, because he talks very rarely. He speaks very rarely throughout the novel. Other people talk a lot more, and he is more of an introvert up until this point, or maybe throughout the rest of the novel. I don't really know yet. So I'm going to start part 2, and I'll keep you guys posted. Keep you guys posted. In true college student form, I have finished the rest of the book in the last 4 hours. It wasn't too bad, 150 pages after procrastinating the assignment because of midterms and life. Hall's novel was amazing, and I know we're not supposed to gush over why we liked the author, but it wasn't so much the author and the story, but a combination of an interesting story to me and amazing writing. Hall does very well, and I figured out the reason that I like her writing so much, and it's because it is prose style, but when you read it, there's a very distinct meter and flow and form to it, and you hear the rhythm and the beat in your head. And so if you were to read it aloud, you hear it the way that normal people speak, or the way that anybody speaks. It's written in a very readable form, a very flowing lyrical form, and I absolutely am riveted by it. The story really comes full circle, and you really get to know Sai, and you see how he's different from all of these other characters, and you've seen these differences throughout in his behavior and how he acts and how he is how his personality is very different from who he's matched against. You see it in the beginning with his mother, and then you see it again with his tattoo master, Riley. And then you see it when he comes to America as well. I'm really not trying to give away any spoilers, guys, because it's so good, and I hope that you do read it. I hope that my reviews make you guys want to go out and read it, if nothing more than to see how really well Sarah Hall writes. I guess she's only 30 years old, and this is her second novel, and they both have been regarded as amazing works just because of her flow, not necessarily storyline, but this storyline is really, really well written. And it's really interesting too in the time period and in the subject matter, because of the time period and because of what's happening during that time period, the wars, and then the taboo on tattooing, and the whimsy of him meeting a circus character. I don't know, it's really interesting. All of the characters are very interesting, Sai included. And in the second part of the book, he really comes into himself, and you see more of him verbally, and you see more of his character and who he chooses to become rather than who he has been almost forced to become. And I really like his character. Anyways, I hope you guys like my reviews, and I hope that I was interesting enough for you guys. And I really hope you read this book because it's great. The Electric Michelangelo.